Hi everyone, this is Scott Casey with the Starfinder HUD, and welcome back to the Starfinder HUD tutorial series. Today we're going to be going over making a Technomancer in the sheet and a few spells in the spells sheet. I also got some feedback that people wanted to see the creation from scratch, so we're going to do this from the beginning without any shortcuts taken. So first, a note, when you first open the sheet, if you uh, have not installed the fonts or uh, haven't accepted the use of the online fonts, it'll look like this. Um, However, you can allow the fonts to display as they should. These are not actually unsafe scripts, it's just that they aren't accessed through an HTTPS. You can also download them from Google, and the sheet will load them from your local drive, so you don't need to go through this insecure way, which I'm comfortable doing because I know where it's coming from, but I realize a lot of people would not be. However, just so that for this demo this looks correct, we're going to load the scripts so that then we get the fonts looking the way they should. And then we're going to go into Great. As always, the first sheet you'll find when you open up a new character is the settings sheet. For this PC, we're going to leave everything at defaults, um, and we're going to go over to our core. I'm going to stick with the Roll20 generated character name, and we're going to make this a Technomancer. We're going to start at level 1. Technomancers get, let's see, they get 5 HP and 5 SP per level from their class. They're a 3/4 BAB class, or base attack bonus class. If you aren't familiar with the 3.5 Pathfinder Starfinder convention for this, a 3/4 BAB class will start with 0 base attack bonus, and at level 20 will have 15 base attack bonus. A half base attack bonus would go from 0 to 10, and a full from 1 to 20. Um, Technomancers have a poor fortitude, poor reflex, and a good will save. For this, if you want to, again, if you aren't familiar with the 3.5 Pathfinder Starfinder convention, a goodwill save at level 1 will start at 2 as your class given bonus. A poor save will start at 0. And then we get 4 skill points per level plus our intelligence modifier from Technomancer, and our core ability score is intelligence, and we are going to be a spellcaster. Now once you click this, you'll notice that you can now navigate to the spells page, and you have some menus for all of your spells if you're a multi-classing Technomancer Mystic, as well as specific spell lists. Our initiative will update as we update the character sheet. And we're going to go back to character info, and we're going to be a Demaya Lashunta, which gives us 5 HP to start off with. Um, Great. And we're going to be an icon, 30 feet, male, Castrovel. We're going to say neutral, Sarenrae. I'm playing this character. We're going to start off with common and Castrovelian. Excellent. So a Demaya Lashunta starts with an 8 in Constitution, a 12 in Intelligence, and a 12 in Charisma. And then our icon bumps our Charisma up to 13. And now we're going to spend our 10 ability score point buys to bump our Intelligence up to 16. So that's 4 points that we've spent. And then we're going to put a 14 in Dexterity. As you can see, our health, HP, and RP is all updated as we've entered this in. Our EAC and KAC have updated based on our dexterity, and our saving throws have updated based on our scores over here as well. Okay, so a Technomancer's class skills are computers, engineering, life science, mysticism, physical science, piloting. We do have a profession here. We're going to make this guy a particle physicist. And then sleight of hand is also a class skill for them. Okay, so we've got 7 skills or ranks that we can assign at level 1. This will update as you level and as your intelligence changes. Let's see, this guy's going to be good with computers. Actually does know some culture, and some engineering, some life science. He's going to be sort of the knowledge monkey. About the physical world, that is. He's going to be a pretty good pilot. And yeah, I guess we can put some in mysticism too. Okay, great. That is everything. And okay, our attacks, I'm actually going to do through the item compendium down here. Abilities we'll get to in a bit. So the compendium here is going to look a little different from the last tutorial video. This one is now using a text search, so I can put in, say, pistol, and it'll bring up all the pistols in the CRB OGL. So we're going to start off with a, well, let's see, let's do this a little easier. Oh, nope, yep. We're going to search for azimuth. And there we are, azimuth laser pistol. We're going to get some second skin and some batteries. And for the batteries, I'm going to say that I bought 3 of them. Great. And we're starting with 1,000 credits. Minus the 780 is going to give us 220 credits left over. And then I can just delete that to remove the stuff, remove the search results. Our attack here is all nice and set up for us. So we've got a +2, 1d4 fire. Okay, and then we have, let's see, we'll start with our Technomancer abilities. There's only one of them. This is the Spellcast, which is a times per day ability. Technomancer SP, sorry, no, it's an SU. It doesn't have a target or a range or a duration. It does, however, only have 1 use per day. And no save effect, no mods. And I'm just going to copy over the description real quick. Great. Okay, and then since we are Lashunta, we have a few racial abilities. So we're going to do Days is an at-will for them. Lashunta. This is a spell-like ability. Target CR3 or lower creature. This is a close range ability, so it's 25 plus 5 times floor at character level divided by 2. And that's feet. Its duration 1 round. I'm not real sure where the spell-like abilities, where the ability basis for them comes from. It's in the CRB, I know. I just don't want to spend time looking for it right now. It is, however, a will save. They are dazed, unable to take actions. And it's negated on a successful save. There are no mods there. Great. We've also got psychokinetic hand, which is also at will. Also that actually we need to put this in as this, and this in as that. Okay, this is concentration. This is, if we go down to our spells in the CRB, we'll have psychokinetic hand. There we are. Yep, concentration. It's a standard or and sort of a move depending on what part of it you're using. There's really no save for it and no mods. So we're gonna copy the description in, and it is also a close range spell. So instead of typing that out again, we're just gonna copy that. And there we go, we got psychokinetic hand. And back to our racial abilities. Last spell-like ability that we get is Detect Thoughts once per day. So that's going to be an X per day. Demaya Lashunta, SP. Let's see, this is a cone, and it is 60 feet. And it is concentration up to character level minutes. Okay, so now we have another save. This one is also a will save. Okay. Classes, feats, spells. Detect thoughts. Okay. So Detect Thoughts is a little bit complicated for the save ability. So I'm going to actually start off by copying the entire description into here. And so first round, really no save required. Second round, no save. The third round is where the save comes into effect. So I'm going to actually write it as this third round. Surface Thoughts. Red, third round. Okay, great. So we can now minimize that. And then Lashuntas also have limited telepathy. Which is essentially a constant. And is a extraordinary ability, I believe. It's got a range of 30 feet on it. Okay, and that's all that really needs. And then the final one is that Lashuntas are typically students. And let's see. Okay, so this one is not going to be a save effect, but it's going to be a mod. So they get +2 to any skill, any two skills of their choice. Um, and this is a racial bonus to, oh, what do I want him to focus on? Let's say computers and piloting. And over here, you'll see that we now have our bonus to computers and piloting. Great. And what the heck, we'll toss the description in there as well. Okay, so now our basic character sheet is all done. We're going to go into the spells section. So when you checkmark that you have a spell, uh, the details to customize that class's spells will pop up here. Your caster level is a sum of all of your spellcasting classes, or class levels. You can buff that if you have something that allows that. Um, the spells per day here are pretty much manual entry, um, as there are all sorts of different spells per day that will probably eventually be coming to Starfinder. Uh, your spellcasting ability here defaults to what the core ability for the class is, and will change to that if you change your core ability. However, you can change this to be anything you want. The spell progress here defaults to partial, which is what the Mystic and the Technomancer are. You get to a maximum of 6 level spells. It does, however, also support half spell casting, such as the Blood Rager or the Ranger or Paladin from Pathfinder, as well as full prepared spell casting, such as the Wizard from Pathfinder, and full spontaneous, such as the Sorcerer from Pathfinder. I'm not going to enter all these spells for this character, but I'm going to just do 2 of them. The first one's going to be Magic Missile, because there's a feature of the sheet that I think comes in handy for spells like Magic Missile that have a variable number of effects. And if you've looked at using the attacks field in depth, you probably already know what this is, but we're going to start here anyways. I'm going to enter Technomancer as the source. This will automatically set any DCs for the spell to be based on the Technomancer's ability. Magic Missile is an evocation force school, up to 3 creatures, and it is 100 plus 10 times at caster level feat. It's an instant spell. It's a standard Auriful, and it does 1d4 plus 1 damage. And it does force damage, no crit effect because there's no attack roll. So then we're going to go in here to additional attacks, change it to always roll additional attacks, but instead of a set number of additional attacks, we're going to put a query here and do action standard 2 full 3. Great, the attack penalty doesn't matter because again there are no attacks. So now if I roll Magic Missile, it'll ask me what action are you using to cast it. So we'll do a standard first. That was actually pretty good damage off that sucker. Okay. And so then it will roll the 2 damages. However, if the next round I wanted to spend my full action doing it, suddenly I have 3 damages that have been rolled from it. Also not bad for Magic Missile. And then you and your GM can apportion those as you see fit, to the targets that are available to you. And then, of course, you can also have spells with a save DC. And we're going to do Grease as our example of a spell with a save DC. Okay, So name Greece level 1, Technomancer, School, Conjuration, Creation, target area or object. Range on this sucker is close, so 25 plus 5 times floor. Caster level divided by 2. Feet. Excellent. Duration is at caster level minutes and is a standard. Okay, so we're going to go into our save effects here. You'll see that the ability that it's based on has already been set to intelligence because it's being cast as a Technomancer. It's got a save DC of 14 right now, and it is a reflex save. And then Grease has some different effects based on whether you're targeting the object or the area. It's still the same save DC. So area, you fall prone. Object, you drop the object. Okay. And then on a successful save, area, and then we need to have it. Okay. 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 And then we're going to put a spell description in here. And expand this so that we can remove the stuff we already put in the save description. So we're going to remove the stuff that's duplicate. There we go. Okay. It's important to leave the areas like attack, damage, or save effect expanded in spells and abilities. That's how the roll template knows whether or not to display that information. So we're going to shrink this down, and now we can roll our grease, and it has our nice info on what happens to the characters affected by it. So anyways, that's the spell sheet. We can also look at our spells menu here. If you have multiple spell casting classes, you'll be able to select which one which spell book you want to access. And then either by clicking here or clicking the Technomancer specific spell list up here, you can get your specific spells. It'll list how many spells per day you have recorded as used, however you want to use this really. The script doesn't use it for anything, it's just there for your information. So whether you want to count up or down is up to you. and you can then cast the spells straight from this menu. These menus up here, as always, can also be dragged down to, yeah, can also be dragged down to your macro quick bar. They can be renamed, recolored, all sorts of different stuff, and then you can access stuff from your sheet without even having to have the sheet open. So anyways, I hope you guys have found this useful for using the Starfinder HUD, and I look forward to getting the next video in the tutorial series out to you guys, which will be going over NPCs. Have a great day, and see you out in the drift.